Okay, so looking at the cylinder example here. So, if you read the directions, they tell us that 15 millimeters is the radius. Now, if you ever have a quiz or a test and you're not sure if the diagram is pointing to a radius or an entire diameter, make sure you always ask your teacher or professor. That's not something that's going to, be a question that they don't answer for you. In this case, I tried to clarify, so hopefully you guys saw in the directions, 15 millimeters is just going to be a radius here. All right, so starting with the lateral area, we have the equation is 2 pi RH. Now, you might notice that's a little bit different than with prisms. Prisms was the perimeter times the height. Now, if you look at 2 pi r, that equation there, or that part of the equation, should be familiar. That's actually the equation for the circumference of a circle. We can't have a perimeter of a circle, so we're going to use the circumference. It's basically the same thing. So, honestly, it's basically the same equation as with prisms, except you're taking a circumference instead of a perimeter because we're dealing with a circular base on cylinders. All right, so plug it in. We already have our radius is 15. We already have the height of the cylinder is 18. So we actually have everything we need right away. So we're going to multiply 2 times the 15 times the 18. I'm holding off on pi because I want to give you an answer in terms of pi. When you multiply the three numbers together, you get 540, and then we still have pi along for the ride. So the lateral area is going to be 540 pi millimeters squared, or if you multiply by pi, if you round it to the nearest hundredth, you should get 1,696.46 millimeters squared. Now the surface area, it's going to be the same equation we used on the last example. So we have the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. So right now we have this area here connecting the two bases. That was our lateral area. So now we just need the 2b, the 2 times the area of a base. Now because we're dealing with a circle, the equation for base area is pi r squared. So we're going to plug in that 15. 15 squared is 225. So the area of a base is 225 pi millimeters squared. Now I'm not bothering putting that in decimal form yet. Like I've said numerous times, I don't like to round until the end if possible. I want to wait as long as possible to round so that I don't compromise our answer. So we have our lateral area. So the surface area is the lateral area, which was 540 pi, plus 2 times the area of a base, which we just got is 225 pi. So I'm going to multiply that 2. We get 450 pi there. When we add that to 540 pi, we're going to end up with a surface area of 990 pi millimeters squared. Now remember, we're multiplying by pi to get the total area. If you wanted to give your answer rounded to the nearest hundredth, your answer would be 3,110.18 millimeters squared. So either of those two answers would be fine. I'm a fan of just leaving it in terms of pi. It's nice and neat, less likely to end up with decimals.